Good morning. Happy Monday. Good morning, good morning. I'm going to wait for a couple of you to pop on here while I'm waiting for that. You guys, it's another Monday. It's Motivational Monday, man. What is going on? Oh, literally, my sister just texted me right then. Okay. Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning. It's Motivational Monday. Everybody get up. Get up, get up, get up. It's time to get up. What time is it? 7:50. I'm like 10 minutes late. It's okay, though. Hey, what do they say? If you're on time, you're late. You're early when you're 5 minutes early or something like that. I don't know, whatever. You guys know what I'm saying. Either way, I'm late, okay? All right, guys. So you guys know how Motivational Monday goes, okay? We talk about motivating things. That's the beginning of the week, man. And, we got to get up. It's a new week. It's a new day. It's a new morning. We got new goals, new stuff, whatever. Okay, so let's see. On Motivational Monday, we've talked about a couple different things. So for those of you that have never been on my lives before, at this point, I think we're on like 54 some odd lives or something like that. I cannot believe that I've done 50 some odd videos. That's freaking crazy. But we've talked about a lot of different things, you guys, a lot of different things. And I've touched on pretty much all of them in multiple lives. But for those of you that have never been on one of my lives, for those of you that do need more motivation, good morning, Renee. You have a good day too. For those of you that need more motivation, more drive, more inspiration, whatever it is, we've pretty much talked about so many different ways to stay motivated or whatever. So I'm going to go through a couple. So if there's ever any that you guys ever want to go back to, they're all on YouTube under Live Legit, or you can obviously go back to my Facebook page and you can find all my lives there. Sometimes it's kind of hard because you got to scroll, for a while. I don't post a whole bunch on my regular feed, but I still do post enough for things to get lost. So I talked about a couple different things in my first couple lives, like just, having the courage to be yourself, different things like that. And then I started talking about things from a book that I was actually reading with me and my husband, Chad. We were reading a book and we were like, you know what? People need to hear this stuff, okay? Like other people besides us need to hear this stuff. So I started, he reads and I take notes while he reads. And then I pretty much do like the clip notes because I feel like everybody interprets things differently. And I feel like that everybody should hear it in a different way. So either way, we've talked about believing that you can succeed and you will. We've talked about curing yourself from excuse-itis. So, like, stop making excuses for the things that you want to do. Just get up and do them. Build confidence and destroy fear. How to think big. How to think and dream creatively. You are what you think you are, which that was a really good chapter, you guys. Like, you really are what you think you are. So if you're not if you don't feel like you're good enough, then most likely that's going to portray to everybody else as well. Manage your environment, make your attitude your ally, think right towards people, get the action habit, how to turn defeat into victory. And today we're talking about use goals to help you grow, okay? So using goals to help you grow is huge, you guys. A goal is an object and it's a purpose, okay? So it's like a goal is a dream being acted upon, which I think is freaking huge. Seriously. Like a goal is a dream being acted upon. When you break things down, they don't seem that big. It's like, oh my gosh, I want to do this. But then you're like, man, it's going to take me a while to do that. But that's okay because you have to set little goals to make your dreams come true. Okay. Nothing happens, nor does it go forward. There's no forward steps that are taken until a goal is established. So, if there's things that you want to do in your life, you guys, I feel like, this can kind of go towards anything, but I feel like the best example would probably be in like business or work, okay? So like let's say that you want to be at the top of the company. I don't care if you're working for a corporate company. I don't care if you're a boss with no cap. I don't care if, you're an employee trying to be a manager, and to you being a manager is as high as you want to go or as high as you can go. So that's the top of the company for you. I don't care. But whichever way it is, for you to get there, you can't just be like, oh yeah, I'm going to get there. You have to set goals to get there. Okay. So you have to make your goals established. You have to figure out how you're going to get there and what baby steps you're going to take to get there. Some people can go full force and nothing stops them and they got it, and that's awesome, okay? Some people can't do that, okay? Like, some people don't know a lot of people. Some people haven't been in an industry long enough. Some people are still learning. Everybody's on a different page, so we all have to look at it differently. But no matter what, you still have to set goals to get yourself there. And they have to be baby goals, because not everybody can do it full force, right? I set baby goals all the time. Trust me, you guys, watch my story today. You'll see how the little goals turn into bigger goals as you go, right? So goals are essential to success, like air is to life, you guys. It's so true. You cannot get success unless you set goals for yourself. You can't do it. It's not possible. You have to set goals in order to gain success. You can't just be like, oh yeah, I'm going to be successful today, and do nothing to get there and set no goals to get there. Yeah, no, that's not how that works. So it's like you have to set goals in order to gain success. Literally, just like you have to have air to live your life. Like, we cannot be here unless we're breathing, okay? So you must form an image now for the person you want to be 10 years from now, which I feel like is so big, because if you've ever noticed, like, any successful person, they started, like, when you hear their stories, like, of course, whenever they were becoming successful, everybody was like, who the heck are you? Or didn't even know who they were. And then they became successful, and you're like, whoa, this dude's freaking awesome, or this lady's cool, blah, blah. And then they tell you their story on how they got there, and you're like, whoa, that kind of sounds like I've been through that before. Or wow, like, that person that has that much success has been through life like that. Like, most successful people, you guys, have been through crazy lives. Crazy lives. I mean, like, insane stuff. If you've ever heard of, like, Andy Frisella's story, or even, like, Ed Milet's story, or, there's so many, you guys. Even women that have gone through crazy stuff, too. Like, there's so many stories out there. But they have been working on themselves for many, many years before they became successful. Most successful people, it takes anywhere from 5 to 10 years, some even 20, to get to where they really want to be, okay? But they had to imagine that. They had to start imagining what they wanted to be today, what they wanted to be 10 years from now. So that's what they're working towards. Yes, of course, everybody wants to be successful, in their younger years, and where they can live it up, and they can, do what they want to do, and, not have to think about a lot. But no matter what, you guys, like, any success takes hard work and sacrifice. There's nothing that you can do to get around that. There's no secret sauce or magical pill that you can take or whatever. You have to get out there and do the work. You have to get out there and make the sacrifices. You just have to do that. That's the only thing that you can do. Success doesn't come easy to anybody. I don't care how rich and famous somebody is. I don't care what they're driving or what house they're living in, or, whatever. Or if you're like Hugh Hefner and have 90 million girlfriends, like, who knows? You know what I mean? But they had to work to get there. But they had images in their head that's what they wanted to do. Like, geez, you could even take Hugh Hefner, for example. Like, I don't even know why that's even popping into my head, but I'm just saying, like, there's so many different, like, people out there. But take him, for example. You think that one day he just woke up and was like, yeah, I'm going to have a huge mansion with, I don't know, 100 freaking bedrooms and Playboy bunnies? Like, no, he probably didn't think that. He was probably just like, I think I could be successful in the magazine game. Like, I think that, I could, get a big house and do this and do. He set little goals, and then those goals turned into huge goals. And then all of a sudden he has a mansion with all these women running around and blah, blah, blah. Like you can see that image in your head. That's a vision, okay? So for you, what is your vision? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Where do you want to be in 10 years? You have to start imagining it now. Because if you just wait and imagine it 10 years from now, well, it's already going to be too late. It's already going to be 10 years later, and you're going to be too late. So it's all about how you look at it. You have to make a vision of what you want to be now, what you want to be 10 years from now, okay? Or have an image, I should say. You need to have a vision regardless, which is the same thing. Without goals and visions, we cannot grow, which is so true, you guys. If we don't set small goals for ourselves and then achieve them, we feel like we failed. That's why whenever people want to be super successful and they're like, oh, I'm going to start this business today, and in a month, I'm going to be CEO. And then a month comes around and they're not CEO. And they're like, what? And they feel like they failed. It almost knocks you down even more when you set your goals too high. I'm not saying that you can't have high goals. That's not what I'm saying at all. Everybody has high goals. I mean, geez, my goals and dreams are absolutely ridiculous. They're out of this world. But I take baby steps to get there. Just like everybody kind of needs to take baby steps to get there. Unless you've been handed a whole bunch of money or a company or whatever, unless you're in that type of situation, you have to work for everything you have. Literally. Like there's no going around it. So without goals, we cannot grow. If we set little goals and we achieve them, we feel success. We're like, oh my gosh, I did it. Like I did that one goal. You know what? Next month, I'm going to do that goal and another. And then you do that and you're like, oh my gosh, this really isn't that hard. You know what? Next month, I'm going to do this goal, that goal, and another. And then you're taking baby steps. And then before you know it, 2 years from now, where you were 2 years before, and then you look at yourself 2 years later and you're like, holy crap, man, I did it. It may have taken me 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, but you know what? I took baby steps and I finally got to where I wanted to be. Like that's huge, you guys. So instead of setting huge goals that you cannot obtain right away because it's going to make you feel like you fail, set little goals to get there. And then you can feel the success. Be more positive about it instead of more negative about it. Hey, Laura, good morning. So you have to set goals and visions. Otherwise, we can't grow as people because the moment we feel like we fail at something, we dig ourselves in the ground because we're like, well, see, told you, can't do it. I can't do it. And it's like, that's the worst thing you can do to yourself. It seriously is. You have to set littler goals that that you can accomplish, succeed at them, and then keep moving forward and go from there. Now, if you set little goals and they're like big in your, company or whatever, and it gets you there faster, that's awesome too. It's all about the way you look at it, you guys, in whatever business you're in or whatever. Before you can start out, know where you want to go, which I think that's huge. That pretty much goes back to you must form an image now for what, like the person you want to be 10 years from now. Before you can start, you need to know where you want to go. Because that's true. You can't be like, oh yeah, I want to start a business and have no idea what niche you want to be in, have no idea what customers you want to talk to, have no idea what kind of business you want. Do you want an online business? Do you want a brick and mortar? Do you want to go buy a food truck? Do you want to do it out of your car? Do you want to do it from your phone? Do you want to do it from your house? Like, where are your goals? What do you want to be? Where is it going to be at? The location, the timing, the hours. What are you going to sell? What are you going to do? Who are you going to talk to? Like, you have to figure out what you want to do before you go and do it. Because if you're just like, yeah, I'm going to start this business and have no idea what the heck you're doing, you're going to feel like you failed instantly. And then again, you're going to be burying yourself right underneath the dirt for nobody to see because you feel like you're not good enough. And you are good enough. You just have to push yourself to be good enough. And you have to believe that you can be good enough, you guys. Our minds are something so powerful that we all take it for granted, even myself. okay? We all take it for granted. We can physically think about things and they can come true if we really believe in them. Like, our minds are so powerful, you guys. There's been people out there that have cured like cancer inside of them just by thinking about it. Also, have you guys ever heard of that Iceman? I forgot what his name is. Chad has the book somewhere. It's somewhere around here. But there's this guy that's an Iceman. He climbed Mount Everest in shorts and tennis shoes and a t-shirt. Who in the heck can climb Mount Everest in shorts, tennis shoes, and a t-shirt? Or I think he might have even been in flip-flops just to like be even more crazy. Like, who can do that? Climb all the way to the top of Mount Everest in flip-flops and a t-shirt? Get out of here, you guys. That is all about mind focus. It's crazy. So seriously, like, if you guys have never heard of the Iceman, go look him up. He's a boss. It's crazy. And he's taught people to think the same way he does. I don't even want to know how expensive that probably is, but man, if you could go to a retreat like that, I'm not saying I want to be a freaking ice woman, but to be able to have so much control over your mind to the point where you can go in freezing temperatures and not freeze. He was even injected with different viruses that could like kill him and stuff. And he just thought, nope, you're not killing my body. You get out. And it disappeared. I mean, crazy things, you guys, crazy freaking things. Like, our minds are unreal, okay? So start tapping into that. Start visioning and imagining and writing things down. You guys, writing things down, I know it's so crazy nowadays because we have our phones and we can just go to notes and, you know, we can type in whatever we need to do. But seriously, grabbing a notebook and writing things down and seeing it and visualizing it and taking these notes, like, it's so much bigger than what you think it is. Yes, it may take time. Yes, you got to go find a pen, and who has one of those nowadays, you know, because we have our phones. But it's like actually looking at paper and writing something down. There's something about it. And those words are on paper. You think them and then you write them, they're more likely to come true. It's unreal. It's no joke. And some of you may think I'm freaking crazy, but I'm so serious when I tell you, the moment you start to think about it, then the moment you start to write it down, and then the moment you start to teach it or explain it or whatever, it all starts to make so much sense. Like, your mind starts acting this way and starts thinking this way, and you want to be more successful, or you want to do this or achieve that goal or do whatever. Like, it's crazy. It fuels you. It's unreal, you guys, seriously. So before you can start, you have to know where you want to go. So also, even when it comes to like your talents, your skills, your abilities, those are your products, okay? So let's take business again, for example. Let's say you're selling a product. There's a lot of, let's say, MLMs, direct sales companies, stuff like that out there that are selling products, okay? During the pandemic and all that stuff, people started realizing how important those people actually are, because you can get stuff online that you know is actually good because you can see your friends are selling it, or your coworkers, or family members, wives, husbands, whatever. And you can order it like freaking Amazon. It comes directly to your doorstep, and it's awesome. You can order lashes, you can order makeup, you can order body care stuff, workout equipment, you know, protein shakes, and all the workout, you know, shakes and vitamins and pills. Shampoo, conditioners, skincare. I mean, there's so many things that we can all buy online now. But the thing is that, and this is what I even tell my team and stuff like that all the time, is that people buy people, okay? People don't buy products. Your talents, your skills, and your abilities is what people buy. Those are your products, not your actual products. People can go and try shampoo anywhere they want, okay? People can go and get makeup anywhere they want. People can do this, that, or the other, order on Amazon, do whatever. But no matter what, people aren't buying necessarily the products. Yes, they do want to try the products. Yes, they don't have an issue switching, or they, you know, don't care. Maybe they'll try it because they want to help you, blah, blah, blah. But your talents, your skills, and your abilities are what sells to people, okay? So those are your products. Even when it comes to, there's two things that can even help you with more like visualization and trying to succeed and stuff like that. First of all, you have to visualize. You have to break it down. So this is one, visualization. You have to figure out and I know this may sound crazy, but everybody has a schedule, and a lot of us like would rather stick to a schedule because we feel like we can obtain it or whatever, or we can check off, you know, oh, I did this, I did that, whatever. We make lists or calendars. But that's because we have to visualize it. We have to see, okay, I got to pay that bill on the 1st. Okay, I have to go to work at 2:30 today. Okay, I have to go pick up my kids from basketball practice at 7. Okay, I got to be back. They have to be back at school by, 8 a.m. Blah, blah, blah. Like you have to, everybody has a schedule. Everybody likes a routine, right? Well, it's the same with success, you guys. You have to visualize it, and then you have to categorize. So how much time are you willing to spend at work? Like your job that you have to do to pay your bills. How much time do you have to spend there? Okay. Home. How much time do you have to be at home and cook dinner and clean your house and do laundry and spend time with your husband or your wife or your kids or your pets or whatever the case may be? And then social. How much time do you have to spend with your friends? You have to visualize everything, and then you have to categorize everything, because everybody has the same amount of time in a day, but some people are doing way more than others with that time. So you have to be able to categorize things so you can fit everybody in. Like, of course, I have to work to pay bills, you guys. I can't just do my direct sales, company and live off that right now. That's not what I can do, okay? I have to do massage and I have to do hair to be able to pay my bills and go on from there. But, so I have to make sure I have a portion set aside of my time for work. Then I have to have a portion of my time set aside at home where I'm actually cleaning my house, doing my dishes, cooking dinner, doing laundry, being here with Chad, and also running my other businesses. But then I also have my friends too. So I have to categorize that too. Okay, well, now I got to figure out how I got to work, how I got to spend my time at home and running my other businesses, and also spending time with my friends, because my friends are very important to me. So it's like, you have to categorize. Everybody has to do that. But how much time are you willing to put into everything? Are you going to spend more time at work and at home because you have goals to achieve? Or are you going to spend more time with your friends? Like, I love my friends to death and I love spending time with them, but that's not my number one priority. Being at work and paying my bills and having a successful income and being home with my husband and making sure I have a clean home and I'm working my other businesses, like that stuff's important to me because I'm visualizing who I want to be 10 years from now, not who I am right now. As much as I want to be so successful and all the things, spend time with everybody, that's just not realistic, and hard work and sacrifice takes time, and that's just what you have to do. So how are you going to do that? Are you going to spend more time at work, at home, or in your social life? Are you going to break them all down to where they're equal? You can do that too. Is one or the other more important? You can do that too. It's all about, the way you want to do it. It's all a choice, you guys. So if you spend more time with your friends now, then expect in the future that your job's probably not going to be that big of a deal. You spend more time on your job and your career and things like that now, most likely your career, your job, all that's going to be awesome. Your friends will be there if they're good friends. In a nutshell. I mean, let's get serious. If they're not good friends, or they're haters, or they're jealous, or they don't understand why you work so much or whatever, well, then maybe those are people that you don't need in your life because they don't understand where you're trying to go. And so maybe you're just not on the same page anymore like you used to. And sometimes you got to push those people aside. And that sucks, but that's what you got to do sometimes. Desire, when harnessed, is power. Failure to follow desire to do what you want must pave the way to mediocrity. It paves the way to mediocrity. So, desire when harnessed is power, you guys. So, when you desire something, when you want something so bad, that's powerful because you believe you can get it and you want it that bad that it makes it that powerful, okay? Failure to follow desire to do what you want must pave the way, or then it paves the way to mediocrity. So if you don't believe that you can get somewhere, if you don't believe that you are a strong person or you can do it or whatever, sometimes that just paves the way to a bad road. And then other ways, it paves the way to a good road. It depends on what you're talking about and what you're doing. But you have to believe, you have to have a desire, because that desire has power, okay? Let's see. Success. Okay, so success receives, and it's all from your heart and your soul and effort, okay? So if you guys want success, if you guys want to be at the top of a company, or if you want to be a manager, or you want to do this, that, or the other, you have to feel it in your heart and soul, and you have to give it effort, you guys. You have to give it so much effort. Things do not come easily to a lot of people, and a lot of us have to work extra hard to get to where we want to be, and that's okay. But if you truly believe it and you feel in your heart and soul and you actually put the effort in, like, you can totally get there. It's just all about a choice in your mind, okay? So, and it has to be something that you actually desire. Like, if you're working at a job right now that you don't care about, why are you even there? I understand, like, most people are going to say, well, I have bills to pay. Okay, yeah, you're right, but you're not happy, you know? So why don't you find a job that you can be happy at, that you can also pay your bills, and then whatever you truly, truly, truly want to do, you do on the side until it can become a full-time. And that takes hard work, sacrifice, dedication, motivation, inspiration, self-development, you know, having a desire, feeling it inside, feeling it with your heart and your soul, and putting effort into it and stuff like that. Like, if you truly, truly want to do something, you have to do all of those things to get there. You can't skip around. You can't be like, oh yeah, today I'm going to be motivating, but tomorrow I'm going to do nothing. You guys, it doesn't work like that. It's every day. Push, push, push. Every day, let's go, go, go. Like, you have to do the things you desire and do it with all your effort and all your motivation and everything every single day to get to where you want to be in the next 10 years. If you don't work hard now, what are you going to have later? If you don't care about anything now, what are you going to have later? You know what I mean? Like, you have to start caring, and you have to start realizing that you can make these things happen. Every minute you waste, you don't get back. So stop wasting it. Stop wasting the minutes, you guys, because you can do it. You can do whatever you want. Do you want to be at that job? Do you want to be a boss? Do you want to get in that relationship? Do you want to get married? Do you want to have children? Do you want to do all that? You can do that. But you have to believe you can do that. And it starts with you. If you don't believe it and if you don't care, it's not going to go anywhere. So you have to find things that you truly desire, that you want to put all your heart and your soul and your body and your effort and everything into. Otherwise, you're not going to go very far. Good morning, John. Hi. Okay, so there's a couple things that lead to success. Suicide, man. Destroy them. Get them out of here. They're dangerous, okay? Get them out. So there's a couple things. There's 5 things. Self-deprecation. So talking down to yourself, you guys, okay? So again, these are success suicide habits. These are things that you need to destroy. They're dangerous. You need to get them out of here. So self-deprecation. Literally talking down to yourself. You guys, if you tell yourself you're a piece of crap, I can't do this. Of course, that thing didn't work out the way it is because I'm a failure. Yeah, I'm never going to get that job because Tom over there is better than me. Or I'm never going to do this because Julie over there does it better than I do. Okay, first of all, you're comparing, which is terrible. Do not do that. I know it's so freaking hard. I compare myself to people a lot too, and it's a very hard thing to like get over, but at the same time, we're all here for different reasons. And yes, maybe this or that person's having more success at the moment, but if you're trying and you're doing all the things they did whenever they first started, you'll be in that same position too, okay? So stop talking down to yourself. Stop doing it. Don't tell yourself the things that are negative or whatever, because then the moment you think about it, you're already clouding your judgment. Then when you speak it, you just put it out into the universe, you put it out into existence, and now it's more likely to come true. So stop talking down on yourself. Self-deprecation is the worst thing you could do, okay? That's 1. 2, security-itis, okay? So itis in medical term means inflammation. A lot of times, like even whenever we were talking, gosh, this was like, when was this? This was like one of my 4th lives I ever did. We talked about curing yourself from excuse-itis. So making excuses all the time for things that you know you can do, but you make excuses for it because you're afraid to fail. Well, this is the same thing. Security-itis. You make excuses because of not to be successful or not to get to where you want to go because you're secure in where you are, okay? So let's say that, you have a wife or a husband that makes the majority of the income, and you know, you don't really have to work, but you can if you want, but you've been so used to being taken care of that now at this point you really don't want to work. Okay, well, that's fine, but you're making excuses for yourself and you're staying in security-itis because you're so comfortable where you are that you can't even push yourself out of your comfort zone to do better. So stop doing that. Stop acting like you're so secure in your situation and actually become the person you want to become, regardless if you have to work or not. Do it, especially if you don't have to work and you can be home working on other things. Dude, what? You know how many people would like kill to be able to stay home and do the things that they truly love to do, whether it's be with their kids or work on a project or rebuild their deck outside or build a garage or, you know, work on something else. You know what I mean? Like, everybody has hobbies and things that they love to do, okay? So stop being stuck where you are and stop being secure in where you are and get out of your comfort zone and do something that you truly want to do and stop relying on somebody else, okay? So self-deprecation, security-itis, let's see. Competition. So I feel like a lot of people, this one goes more so with like business, okay? So I feel like with a lot of people, competition is huge because you feel like, oh, well, I can't get into that market because it's oversaturated or it's on overload. Like, there's too many people that are, like, you could take my business, for example. There's too many people selling shampoo and skincare. I can't do it. The market's saturated. Oh, no, you're sadly mistaken, okay? Markets are not always saturated. There is plenty that are, okay? There's plenty that have failed, that are oversaturated, whatever. But in a lot of different companies, the best time to start a business is whenever the company is launching new products and they're constantly getting better and better, okay? Because that means that they're still growing. The mountain's growing, okay? So in competition, people instantly get that in their head. They feel like, oh man, I can't do this, I can't do that, because this person does it better than me, or this person has had that longer than me, or the market's saturated, or whatever. No, there's bigger things to that, you guys. You have to look past all that. And you also have to make sure that you're getting involved with things that you have a lot of information about. Like, don't ever get involved into a business that you don't know anything about, because that's crazy, okay? So stop worrying so much about competition, depending on whatever you're trying to get into. Then, okay, so we had self-deprecation, stop talking down to yourself. Security-itis, stop being so secure in where you are. Get out of your comfort zone and do something about it. Competition, just because you may think that the market's saturated or overloaded or you can't do this, can't do that, does not mean that that's the case. Parental dictation. So you have a lot of these younger kids that, they tell their parents, okay, I want to do this. Or even some of the older kids, I have a couple girlfriends of mine that told their parents that they'd make $20,000 a year, $20,000 a month. And, their parents laughed. Okay, so parent dictation is huge when it comes to success suicide, because of course you want to make your family happy, and of course your parents aren't trying to not make you happy. They're just trying to protect you, and they don't want you to fail, and they want to see you succeed. But sometimes you have to do the things that they don't want you to do to be successful in the way that you want to be successful. So parent dictation can be really a big deal, because I have a lot of friends of mine that won't step out of their comfort zone or won't get into a business or won't do this, that, or the other, because they're so afraid of what their parents are saying, or their parents have said this, that, or the other. And you know what? Like, we're all adults, and you have to start making decisions for yourself, because you're not always going to be around mommy and daddy for the rest of your life. So it's like you have to figure out who you want to be and how you're going to do it. And you need to figure it out now, because later your parents aren't going to be there, and you need to be able to take their advice while you can. Okay. And I know that's like such a scary topic to talk about. Like, I could not imagine losing my parents, but at the same time, like, it will happen one day, and I have to be successful in my own way, because they're not going to be here forever. Okay. Also, family responsibilities. I feel like people make excuses because they're like, oh, well, I have kids, I have a wife, I have a husband, I have, a household to clean, I have laundry to do, I have kids to take back and forth to ballet or soccer or basketball or football or cheerleading or blah, blah, blah. Like, there's so many different things, but at the same time, you guys, like, if you really want to be successful, if you really want things to happen, you have to stop making excuses. Okay, like, we all have things going on. We all have a past. We all have a story. We all have a husband or a wife or kids or family or, responsibilities to take care of. Okay, but that doesn't mean that you use them as excuses to not become successful in your own way. You have to stop doing that. Okay, so those are the 5 things that literally lead to success suicide. You have to destroy them. You have to get rid of them. They're dangerous. Like I said, they are self-deprecation, which is talking down to yourself. Security-itis, being secure in where you are and not getting out of your comfort zone. Competition, feeling like you can't do it because somebody else does it better or the market's saturated or whatever. Parental dictation, worrying so much about what your family thinks or what your friends think or your parents and blah, 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 and letting them decide your future and not yourself. Also, family responsibilities, using your kids, your wife, your husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, pets, laundry, dishes, whatever, as excuses to not reach your goals or to be something successful or to be something that you want to be. Okay, so all of those things will literally destroy you when it comes to success. So you have to figure out a way to get around all that. Of course, I'm not telling you to get rid of your family or to, not worry about your kids or your parents or, not worry about things. Like, we all have to worry about stuff, but at the same time, don't let it define you, is what I'm trying to say. Goals kill boredom, you guys. So setting goals kills boredom, right? You have to be able to set goals because in that way you don't get bored. And my mom and sister always told me that only boring people get bored. So you can always remember that too. Goals actually kill many chronic ailments. So if there's different chronic ailments going on and you have goals and stuff, you tend to start thinking more about your goals than you do about those chronic ailments, and also boredom and different things like that. Like, when you have something to look forward to, when you have goals and dreams and visions and you're setting little steps for yourself to get to the top or whatever, like, you're thinking so much about your goals and your dreams and what you want your life to be in the next 10, 15, 20 years, 30 years, whatever, that all the other chronic ailments and the boredom and the things like the comparisons and the overthinking and all that stuff just slowly starts to fade away because you're thinking about bigger and better things. Progress is made one step at a time, you guys, okay? You cannot go from 0 to 100. It's very hard to do that, especially in business. Everything is one step at a time. Every big accomplishment is all the small accomplishments you have done. So that's like kind of going back to what I was saying earlier. You have to take little baby steps, because when you take baby steps and you succeed, you're like, oh yeah, okay, check, 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 accomplished, accomplished, accomplished. I got it. I did it. Awesome. Well, then that leads to big accomplishments. Okay. So those little steps are eventually going to become big ones. So it's just a little bit at a time. Progress is made one step at a time. The step-by-step method is the only intelligent way to attain any objective. So step by step. It's the best way to do it, you guys, because then, like I said, you can achieve little goals at a time, and then they lead to success. It's like the best method ever. Instead of going 0 to 100 and then failing because you couldn't get there fast enough and then making yourself feel bad, why don't you just take it step by step and achieve one little goal at a time and then finally get there? It may take some time, but every great thing takes time, you know? Like electricity wasn't figured out in a day. You know what I'm saying? Like, so many things weren't figured out in a day that are still here now that took a lot of time and dedication, and a lot of people had to work on it, or one person had to work on it, or whatever. Like, every good thing takes time. Winning any objective needs a step-by-step method. So, like, even take, like, this is a good visual for a lot of people. There's a lot of smokers out there. I don't care what you're smoking. There's just a lot of smokers. But even take that. So if somebody's trying to quit smoking, that's very hard, because you're like, geez, I have to quit smoking forever? Like forever's a long time. That's very intimidating to a lot of people. You're like, oh my gosh, like, holy crap, I gotta stop smoking forever? I don't know if I can do that, you know? Like, that's how people think, right? Well, why don't you say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna stop smoking for an hour. Well, an hour is easy. I can do that. What? That's like, you know, competition time. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are like, I can stop smoking for an hour. Like, what? Who do you think I am? Okay, well then, when that hour ends, say it again. You got to stop smoking for another hour. Oh, you know what? I can do that. It's just another hour. It's 2 hours. No big deal, you know? Okay, well then when that 2 hours is up, you got to stop smoking again for another 2 hours. Or another hour. Or another 3 hours. Or whatever. Those are little goals, you guys. So even when it comes to that, like, do you see that vision in your head? You're like, you hear, oh, that person has to stop smoking forever. And you're like, oh my gosh, forever is a really long time. But then you hear them say, you know what, just stop smoking for an hour. And you're like, well, that's not too bad. Well, then turn that hour into forever without making it seem so powerful, okay? But it becomes powerful because you can do it. It's just all about the way you put it into perspective, okay? There's a page in here that talks about, what time is it? 8:30, 268. Let's see here, guys. I'm going to 268. Almost there. There we go. Okay, so with this page, it's talking about a 30-day improvement guide. Okay, so you can, I wanted to kind of find this page and talk about it because there's a lot of things that you can do, but like when you're trying to break a habit, like different suggestions that you can do is, you know, stop saying that you're going to put things off. Stop having negative language. Stop watching TV more than 60 minutes a day, or longer than that. You know what I mean? Stop gossiping. Like, there's so many different things like that you can break habits. Also, how to acquire some other habits. You can, you know, make your morning different. Set the tone, like I always say, okay? Also, plan each day, each work day, maybe the night before, you know? Plan something today for tomorrow, so then that way you're not so stressed. Compliment people at every opportunity. Like, there's so many different things. You can break habits, you can acquire habits. Increasing your value, like as an employee or an employer, you know, do a better job in developing yourself. Learn more about the company and what it does and what your customers want. Make 3 specific suggestions to help the company become better. Like, there's so many different things. And then there's also ways that you can increase the value of different things, like your, you know, your home and stuff like that. Like, if you want to increase the value of things, you can show more appreciation. You can maybe once a week do something special for the whole family. Like if we were talking about, like, you know, increasing something in your home or something. Give 1 hour a day of your uninvited attention to your family. Whatever you need to do, there's ways that you can break habits. There's ways you can acquire these habits. There's ways that you can increase the value of being a person or an employer or an employee. There's ways to increase the value in your home. I mean, there's so many different ways, you guys. It's just all about your mindset, right? So don't use the success suicide stuff. Use other things that can help you. Also, make sure that you're getting a clear mind. You have visions. You see yourself. Like, this is kind of a recap, you guys. So get a clear mind, have visions, and imagine yourself 10 years from now. Have a 10-year plan. And also strategize and categorize. So you need to figure out how much time are you willing to spend at work, at home, social life. Get departments in there. You know what I mean? Also surrender yourself to your desires. Set goals. That's huge, you guys. Let your major goal be your automatic pilot. You have a goal, you have a dream, you want it to come true, have it be your pilot. Let it come true, because you can do it. It's just you have to believe you can do it. Achieve goals 1 step at a time, you guys. That's everything in a nutshell. So you guys know I always, always, always end in a quote. That's how I do things. And I feel like this one fits perfectly. This is by a guy named Dave Mahoney. He's actually like, he's like a president of like a good humor company. He said this perfectly. And it says, the important thing is not where you are or where you have been, but it's, or wait, no, sorry. The important thing is not where you were or where you are, but where you want to get. That is an awesome freaking quote, you guys. So again, I'm going to read it because I kind of jacked it up there. The important thing is not where you were, so your past. Everybody has a past. Everybody has a story. That's not important. And it's not important about where you are right now, okay? It's important that you set good goals for yourself. It's important that you, because everything you do today affects you tomorrow, but where do you want to get? That's what's important. So you have to do everything today to where you want to be tomorrow, and then in the future, in the future, in the future. So everything you do today affects you tomorrow, you guys. So it's not important about where you were in the past or what you're doing right now. It's important about where you want to get to, okay? And obviously there's points to that. Like I said, it's still important to be a good person. It's important to set good goals for yourself. It's important to, you know, do things good today because they do affect you tomorrow. But stop worrying about your past and stop worrying about the fact that things maybe aren't happening now, but start worrying about your future and where you want to be, and turn that person into who you want to be, okay? Turn yourself into who you want to be, and just figure it out, you know? It's very simple, but it does take a lot of hard work, dedication, and sacrifice. And that just is what it is, you guys. Use goals to help you grow. That's what we got to do, okay? So I love you guys. I hope you guys have a great Monday. I got to leave for work in like 30 minutes. So if any of you, I know a lot of salons and a lot of people are going back to work today. That's freaking awesome. I'm so happy for everybody. Please be safe and healthy and sanitary and take care of your clients if you do have any, or your customers, or whatever the case may be. I hope everybody has a great first day back to work if they are going back to work today. If you've been like me, I've been working since the 4th, so things are like kind of like, you know, getting normal now, but also at the same time, the masks and all that stuff are still pretty crazy. So, but either way, I hope you guys have a wonderful Monday. Stay positive, stay happy, figure out what your goals are, figure out what you want to do, and let's like be successful, man. Let's do the damn thing, okay? Love you guys. Have a great Monday. Live legit. Out, 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 out.